All right, welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. This is Queen's Realm Podcast, and it's me. Yes, I have straight hair. Yes, it's me. It's me. That's in the Queen's Realm, and we have a very, very special guest today. My big cousin, one of my favorite cousins. Don't, hey, it's hundreds of y'all. Y'all all can't be one of my favorites, so don't be mad. But one of my favorite big cousins, mm, the beautiful, wonderful melanated. You understand? Melanated, fashion forward, phenom writing. No, listen, she's a Renaissance woman. You understand me? And don't come for her, because that's real blood. And I already told you how I am about my actual real blood family. So don't play with me. Play with your bald headed ass granny. Anyway, Miss Marissa over here.
Hello. Um,
And today we're gonna talk about, y'all seen the title. No, this ain't a horror film, but sometimes it's like being in a scary movie. Being a single black female in this and day and age and time. And the things, let me get these notes because it's a lot. We got to deal with not just being single, but being a single black
hmm
woman. First thing I want to talk about, first point is, why do you think there's a distinction between being a single black woman and any other race of woman that's single right now?
to me, it's just because I think being black just adds a whole nother layer to it.
Hmm.
So much more than just being a woman. When people have the conversation about being a feminist and being a black woman, it's always like, well, that doesn't really go together. But I'm like,
Right.
it says, yes, I'm a woman and I can be a feminist, but I'm a black woman, so that adds a spin to it. So, yes, I'm a single woman, but being a black woman adds a spin to it, particularly if you're a black woman that's like, I don't want to date outside of my race. I want to date a black man, or if you're
Hmm.
like, I'm open to dating whoever, I think being a black woman adds a lot of layers to being single, and particularly with the things that black men deal with. Um, you know, race related things just make it just totally different. And so I think
Hmm.
there has to be a distinction there because it's not the same experience I think it would be for other women.
Yes. And I think, because you made a good point in what you're saying, a reason why I don't have a problem dating outside my race, I don't want to,
Mm-hmm.
because of that distinction. I
Mm-hmm.
feel like being a black woman, a black man is better to understand. It's certain parts of my life that I wouldn't have to explain. I
Yeah.
don't have to get you to understand. I don't have to explain to you why you can't touch my hair. I don't explain to you whether you ask, is that a wig or not. I don't
Yeah.
You don't need to be shocked every time I'm just going on the hair thing because my hair is straight, and I know I'm about to hear all these questions tomorrow at work because I'm the only person of color there. So it's it's so shocking. Stop that. Uh, and I also feel like with being a black woman, it's stereotypes in the way we date too because we're supposed to be like, I'm supposed to be the ride or die. Listen here, I've said several times, I'm not riding or dying for none of y'all. Can I meet you there? I have questions. Can I meet you there? Why we gotta die? Like what?
I
What
think
kind of? Why
it's,
would you even take me on this trip?
but I think it depends on what kind of black man you're dating. Because
Mm-hmm.
I know that, a lot of people have that experience, but at the same time, there are black women that have never had that experience.
Right. Right.
So I think a lot of times when we as black women, and I say this just in general, I say this when people make complaints about the city of Flint. It's
Mm-hmm.
about the people that you're around and the experiences you're choosing to have. Because
Period.
the men that I know, I don't think they would ever be like, it's ride or die and do whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just never been my experience. And like, I've dated some guys that were like, I don't want to say weird, but like, I don't think they would have put me in that position. And particularly
Right.
like when I was younger, like I'm I'm not gonna say I'm more liberal now, but like when I was young, like I wouldn't leave out the house past 10. And this was like when I was like 25. I'm like, okay, my hair's rolled and I'm not leaving. So I think
You
that
know what?
I don't, a lot of my friends, men that I knew, they knew me and they were like, Marissa's not past 10. Like,
Mm-hmm.
experience that you have, and I mean, and I hate to say it, but it's the standard that you set.
Yeah,
You,
yeah.
if they know from jump that you're not ride or die and you're not gonna do crazy stuff, then first of all, they're probably not gonna deal with you, or y'all
Nope.
just friends. It's not gonna go romantic.
Mm-mm. Then you get to, oh, you stuck up. You act like you. First of all, I grew up in the hood, born and raised in the hood. I don't live there no more though. But I don't. I won't. I don't live there no more.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't talk about it. I don't down it. Like she said about our. I want y'all to stop coming from my city. You don't live here. If you don't like it, what Trump said, you can leave.
The
I
thing,
love it, and I still left. So y'all need to.
Flint is, like when people are like, when people talk about the crime in Flint, I'm always like and this is totally not we sidebar from being a single black woman, but I think it kind of goes together because it's our environment that I
Mm,
think, I always say I'm probably single because I live in Flint. So I think that goes together. But
yeah,
you know, people are like, oh, it's so much crime. And I'm like, but who do you hang around? Or people are like, there's nothing to do here. And I'm like, but who do you hang around? Like, I saw somebody do a whole post about wasn't nothing to do here and they couldn't wait to move. And I'm like, in the whole in pandemic, I've probably gone out more during the pandemic than before. And that's
me
just
too. Yeah,
go to like the igloo and we've been sitting outside and we go to a rooftop bar. So it's stuff to do here, but it's
it's
all
what
about,
you want to do.
and it's who you're hanging out with. Like people, somebody was like, "Oh, they have afternoon tea in Texas or something," and I'm like, "It's a whole
You
bunch of
can do
places
that.
out here that do afternoon tea." So those are you and
I
your people.
mean,
And
I
so,
went to high tea at the Titanic, so I know we could do. I'm just saying,
so
it's what you like to do.
it's what you want to do and what you're looking for, and that I think goes hand in hand with being single because
Mm,
what you looking for. I mean, for me, I'm happily single, which a lot of people will say is rare. Like I want to be in a relationship, but it's not something I'm dead set on that like if it doesn't happen, I'm going to die. And
right.
I'm happy with my life just in general. And
Mm,
so I kind of know what I'm looking for and what parameters that's gonna work in. And
mm,
I told my mother today, I'm like, I somewhat want a non-traditional relationship because I enjoy my freedom. And so I'm
yes.
somebody that they want their freedom too. Like we're together, but we both relish our freedom and our individuality, but we want to
Mm.
come together as a couple.
And I was just talking about that last night with my best friend. I said, "Is it wrong that I want who I want, but I'm not ready for a relationship?" And I said, "I sound like some stuff I've dealt with in the past,
Mm-hmm.
and but you know, what I'm saying it's okay."
I always
Uh,
like the man in the relationship.
yes. I want to do what I'm doing, but I want you to wait by yourself until I figure it out.
I even want somebody to wait. Like I
I do.
would enjoy being in a committed relationship, but I want my life with a relationship. And so
Yes,
somebody's gotta, and I think I mean I know people that would maybe work with, but at the same time too, it's like when stuff happens, it's supposed to happen. So I'm
right.
not for pushing it or anything like that. But I
Mm,
don't think people are honest with themselves about what they want because we're conditioned to be like, oh, I'm a woman, I have to be married, I have to have children.
yes.
And
Yeah.
oh, I'm a guy and I have to be the provider and I have to do X, Y, and Z. Whereas everybody doesn't want those things, but some
Mm,
people will admit it.
yeah. I was just talking about this the other day, and I was like, "This is perfect for the episode." And I'm gonna bring it up. The why does it always seem like women, and I want to say black women in general, you hear a lot from older people. Well, you need to settle down. You need to hurry up and why? Who's gonna have? You want me to hurry up and be pregnant, and hurry up and have a family, hurry up and have a baby? So that means in my head, you want me to rush something that I'm not ready for. So I'm gonna have some kids I'm not ready for. I'm going to have a husband I'm not ready for. A mortgage I'm not ready because I know all the things that I want for when I feel like it's time for me to have a family. I want certain things in place. So you want me to rush all that, and I'm gonna lose it all.
Yeah.
That's what I hear. And why you want me to settle? I don't even like the term settle down.
I don't even think I think so much because I think our age group and everybody younger is so different. And I think a lot, and I don't want to say the older generation is jealous, but in some instances we have a freedom that they have never had. And that's not even, that's relationship wise, that's on jobs, because you know they talk about millennials all the time and they're like, oh, they leave a job like after a year. And it's like, but we're not like you. We want to be happy in our careers and in our life, and we want it all to work. You know, we don't look at things as just a rite of passage like they used to. We're not,
Right.
oh, I got a job and I'm gonna work here 30 years. Oh, this the person I'm with when I'm 20. I'm gonna marry him and we gonna have kids, because like that's what you do when you're an adult. Like we look at things totally different where our happiness is paramount. I mean, and I do have some friends that are like, "Oh, I've got to get married. I'm going to be 30. I want to be married." But I really see, because I have a really broad friend group. I see the generational changes where it's like,
Mhm.
you know, we don't have to just do things anymore because that's the way it was done. And I think older people in a way resent that because
Mhm.
the way they were raised. Like
They
you
didn't have a choice.
you didn't have a choice. You had to get married. You know, when people talk about, oh, the relationships used to last longer, well, you didn't have a choice. Like you
Mhm.
were the housewife with no job and no education. Even if you were unhappy, you, so you know, I think a lot of it is in a way resentment. And I think that it's hard when generations change so drastically, because you have to think 2, 3, 4 generations, like, okay, the path. You get married, have children, the husband, like that's what you did. And you got to say maybe a generation ago that shifted. And I think
Mhm.
for us, it shifted drastically because women are more educated now.
Mhm.
We have so many more options. There are women that are like, I'm gonna have a baby by myself. I'm gonna get artificially inseminated. So there have been quick in the way relationships are viewed. And I think for older
Mhm.
people, it's a shock.
Yeah, they don't. They don't. Well, I don't understand. When you 30, listen at me. Well, it's gonna be harder for you to have kids in your 30s. Why? My great granny had 12 kids, baby. My auntie and my uncle is only years apart. That's your gene pool. That ain't how my genetics work on here. A lot of us on this side have babies later in life. It's okay.
And it's how, I mean, my mother really allowed me the freedom, and she really impressed upon me being happy. And she, I mean, even now she's not like, oh, Marissa, you need to be married, you need to have children. Because she's like, you have a good life. Like, you know,
Hmm.
enjoy your career, you're educated, you know, you have the car that you want, you live where you want to live, you do these things. And so I think a lot is generational, is how you're raised, is how you view yourself. Because I've always had a sense of independence and freedom, even as a child. I mean, I
Hmm.
did weird stuff, whatever I wanted to do. And stuff I didn't want to do, I didn't do it. I was the kid that never felt a peer pressure, like ever.
Yeah.
I want to do it, I didn't do it. And so all of those things are a makeup of how you view relationships, and
Hmm.
how you see that in the future, and how you see it for yourself. And I mean, again, happiness is paramount for us. I've been saying
Hmm.
a lot lately, like I want to be happy, and whatever that looks like, that's what I will do. So,
And it's not for me. It used to be because I was in a very y'all the Queens rummers know I was in a long relationship and I've been. It'll be the fifth year I'm single, and the first year I was single. Within that 6 months of that first year, I was like, oh, I'm not gonna be able to do this. And so I'm so used to being with a person
mhm,
and having somebody that it was all about having somebody for me. By
mhm,
the end of that first year, I was like, you know what, I like this. This is nice in here. So now we at year 5, and I just won't. And I think people think that the longer they hear that you've been single, they think you're just supposed to. I'm not desperate.
mhm,
I'm chilling. Like I'm cool. You won't get. Sometimes I have friends and hobbies and stuff, and I like to be by myself. I've never.
um,
I'm the middle child of 5. I have a big family. I got a big family on all every side of my family. The bonus families and it's a big family either way. It's always one of us somewhere. If I'm that lonely, I got sisters and siblings and nephews. You know what I'm saying? If I got a fix for, oh, I got baby fever, let me go get my god kids. Ooh, when is y'all going home? So I get that out of my system. But I don't have a whole baby because I feel pressured. I'm not in a whole relationship. And I'm like, who am I rushing for? Who am I doing this for? Just
exactly.
because I've been single a long time does not mean I'm just gonna take anything. If
Mm,
anything, it's going to make it even harder because I'm okay,
mm.
just like this. So I have to be okay with you and okay with myself at the same time. And if any one of those dynamics shift, you probably gonna have to go
You made
because
a
that was okay before you got here.
you made a good comment where you said, "Who am I doing this for?" And when I talk to my friends a lot, I'm always like, "Are you happy? Like, do you ask yourself that question?"
Mm,
A friend of mine was like, "I have not asked myself that in years."
mm,
I ask myself, I'm like, "Am I happy today? Am I doing what like you know?" And I people don't do that.
mm,
So I think as women, especially as Black women, I think a lot of times, we get branded as the angry Black woman, and we're
mm,
bitter, and so a lot of people put up a facade and they don't check in with themselves like that. But I'm
mm.
always like, am I happy? Like, what could I be doing to make myself happier? Do I need to buy me something? Like that? Because even when you get into a relationship, even when you have children, if you are not happy, it's just not going to work.
Right, because you don't even have happiness to model, and I don't think people understand that. Because some I saw something on Facebook. One of my friends said kids have to see you genuinely in love, and they have to see it. But you can't be really in love if you're not happy.
Hmm.
And you can't be in love with yourself if you're not happy. Because how you in love with the angry you? That don't even make sense. So
And I mean, and I saw a post like that too, which I get it, but at the same time, I'm like, posts like that to me force people to model an ideal that they might not like.
hmm
You might be with somebody and you don't like them. You don't want to be with them. And those are the people that are like, I'm in a relationship because of the kids. And so your kids, I mean, are they seeing something that's genuinely happy in a relationship, or are they seeing it because you've made up in your mind that the kids need to have both parents in the household no matter what? Like, your child needs to see you happy and genuinely in love, but how does that look for you? Not for
right,
the child.
right. Because when you said they in a relationship, they don't even like each other. You don't understand how many marriages and stuff I look at and see, and I'm not gonna from people I know. I'll just say that people I know, y'all don't even like each other, and y'all keep having children with one another. You don't like each other. You're like, well, I love them, but is it the love? Is it the in love, or is it the love out of? I don't even want to say out of commitment. Just love out of the circumstance. Like you have a love
Yeah.
for them. You don't love that person for real. You
Um,
respect them kind of love,
I
not.
I have a girlfriend that I've talked to about this, and I'm always like, you should ask yourself, are you with him because would you be with him if y'all didn't have kids?
Hmm
And she couldn't answer the question for me. And I'm like, that's your answer. I'm like, first of all, you need to stop talking to me about this because I really don't care. But you know, I I really
We related for real.
yes, I really feel like there are so many questions that you can ask yourself and
Hmm
will shift your life in the way that it need to be shifted. Whether
hmm
am I happy with myself? Am I happy at work? Am I happy in this relationship? Would I be with this person if we didn't have children? Like, there are a lot of questions people know they need to ask themselves and they just won't because it's gonna shift I mean, and it's scary. It's scary
hmm
to ask those questions. It's scary to shift. It's scary to just step out on faith and do things. But to me, it's worse to just stay stagnant. So
Yes.
you've got to do it scared. You got to ask yourself those questions scared.
Yeah, because I've shared with my podcast, my Queens Rumors, that I deal with anxiety. I go to therapy though, people like,
Mm-hmm.
and one thing I told the therapist, I have anxiety. I am able to determine what's rational and what's not, and I will do stuff anyway. I'm gonna do it anxious,
Yeah.
and at least once a day. You said asking yourself questions is maybe I do this at least once a day. I was like, what am I doing? And it ain't like, oh my God, what are you doing? It's what am I doing?
Mm-hmm.
What
Mm-hmm.
am I doing in this space? What am I thinking about? Is this okay? Do I really like this for real? Because I just was talking to the therapist Friday about it's like you said, when you don't want to do something, you don't do it. If
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to talk to somebody or see somebody, I'm not going to.
Yep.
And other people will try to make you feel like you have to and you should. And that's another reason why I feel like I'm single is because I want to be in a relationship where you need to realize I don't have to talk to you every day. I
Mm-hmm.
don't want to live with you before we get married because if we get married, in my mind, it's a serious commitment. I'm gonna see you every day. Then why do you need to see me every? You don't have nothing else to do. Like that, I need you to. I need somebody that understands that for the first 15 minutes when I get home from work, don't talk to me. I people all day, and it ain't like I dislike them people. I actually love my clients and my customers, but I get paid to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Shh, just. And then some people they get upset or they get offended, and it's just like people need to understand that you cannot make another person do anything. And
Yep.
I've said this so many times. Let me talk to the people. Sometimes I gotta get real close and talk to them. Just because somebody loves you and cares about you does not mean. Are y'all listening? Does not mean that they have to love and care about what you care about. That's not what that means.
Yep. Yep.
And when they don't, you can't be like, oh, you don't really care about me. And that's another issue I seem to run into relationships. I care about you. That ain't none of my business. You're my business. That's not my business. You understand? There's no crossover. That's over there. You're over here. Because you're a you.
Yeah.
That's a thing. See.
I think most people, I mean, even people that probably aren't religious, they are looking for a person to love them and forgive them and embrace them in a way that God talks about how he loves us.
Mm-hmm.
And so you well, I don't particularly care about what it is that you like, or if you like basketball and I don't like basketball, and I'm not gonna sit with you all day and watch the Final Four. But people think when they think of love, they think of that unconditional nature of it, that
Mm-hmm.
God and us. And we're people. We're not him. We're not gonna do that. And
Hello.
when you take that out of the equation, then I think you can look at relationships totally different because
Mm-hmm.
you're not looking for this perfection that is not human.
Mm-hmm.
Recognize that people make mistakes, that people are going to falter, that, you know, things can happen that are going to make you sad, but you can still love that person because you're looking to them to be something that they cannot possibly be.
Right. I want a savior. You want to be my savior. You think I want a savior. I want a partner. That's two different things. You can never be that.
Yeah.
You
And
know.
people realize that's what they're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
People are always like, I want someone to love me unconditionally, but what does that mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, because when you think of unconditional love, that's what you think about. You think about God loves us unconditionally. We can go to him and ask for forgiveness. We can go to him and he will forgive us of anything that we've done. And so you're looking to a person to do that same thing and they are not capable. And
Somebody's already doing it. The Lord is already doing it for you. So you need to be secure in that first.
so if this includes me making you sit down and watch basketball or football or whatever, you have to let people be people. I
Yeah.
you have to let people be people.
They're humans. Like the
Yep.
therapist keep reminding me, you are human. You're allowed to feel this way about certain things because I think sometimes relationships, and I don't mean just romantic, can condition you to be a certain way.
Mhm.
But instead of being a certain way with that person, you
Yeah.
just spread it out. Now you like that with everybody.
Yep.
This
Yep.
person don't like being hugged. So instead of just not hugging you, oh, I'm gonna just project and say I don't like being touched. So you don't even have to deal with the
Yeah.
hearing
Mhm.
any sort of rejection in a way. You just take that on when really just don't hug Sarah. Sarah don't like hugs.
Exactly.
You know you like being hugged. You like it. Sarah don't like it. So don't ask Sarah for no damn hug. Go somewhere else. But we humans. I know we talking about single black women, but humans in general, we'll
Mm,
take one thing. The therapist, I'm gonna quote him a lot. I'm sorry. The therapist say a lot of people only see things through the trauma. So you may have dealt with or worked through whatever you was going through on your own healing,
mhm,
and then you with somebody else. Your healed energy attracts unhealed energy. So when you when you're a light, you attract moths. And I'm not calling people moths. I'm just saying. Hmm? Another reason. That's where I'm going. I was going somewhere with this. You just had to go with me. You just had to take a trip. I think black women have a hard time dating is because whatever, not even black women, I'm gonna say women, whatever you've dealt with in a past relationship, we all like to say that we're healed,
Mm-hmm.
but we don't identify what was broken in that relationship.
Yeah.
You just say this whole person as a whole, that was terrible. Okay, what specifically about that was terrible? What was bad about that? What happened with y'all and with you in that? Did you fix that thing? Because
Mm-hmm.
Kenny's like, oh man, ain't shit. You keep picking ain't shit men, you don't know why though.
Yeah.
Because you haven't, because he may not be a good man for this reason, or and this man may not be a good man for this reason, but you ain't dealt with you at all in any way. You
Mm-hmm.
don't want to heal, you want to be with somebody.
And again, I think it goes back to your expectation because
Hmm.
why do you feel like he ain't shit? Is it because
Right.
he's a cheater, or does he not got the kind of job that you think is respectable, or he doesn't like to go do the things that you like to do? Because I've said before, I'm like, sometimes you got to admit you in love with a cheater, and so you know
Somebody.
how are you gonna make that work? Like, because everybody is different. Like,
Hmm. You're
cheating,
gonna have to let that man cheat in peace.
it's not
You ain't going nowhere. You know you love him for real.
if you're not going anywhere, then you have to reconcile that you're in love with a cheater, and so
Hmm.
figure out how that works. And especially if he doesn't want to change. Like, I mean, and that's like you said. It comes to, well, did he heal? Why is he a cheater? Because most men, they not just cheaters for no reason. Like, it's a reason. And so I think as women,
Well, all known that.
you got to accept that. Like,
Yeah.
I'm in love with a cheater. So what does this mean? And how do we make this work? And do we go to counseling? And I think as a black woman, like you said, as all women, you haven't healed. But I think as a black woman, you bring so much other stuff to the table
Yeah.
dating a black man, because you have these everyday microaggressions where somebody
Yep.
might come to you at the store, or your coworker might have said
So,
something to you, or you know, somebody said something that triggered you, or you saw a post online about Serena Williams that was racist. I mean, so many things can come at you race wise that as a black woman, like it just can trigger your entire day that then filters over into your relationships. And if
right.
a black man, then the same thing may have happened to you. And so
Yeah.
dealing with all of this stuff, not just healing from another relationship, but like you might come home at the end of the day and you got to heal from the world.
Somebody help him, Lord.
So,
Child.
all of those play a role into, I think, dating and being a single black woman. Because sometimes you might be like, I don't even want to deal with this. I'm dealing with enough of my own stuff that I don't want to pull this into that. And so,
Mm,
just to go back to what you said, like those are your expectations on that person. If
hmm.
because he a cheater, but then like you said, do you keep picking cheaters? And is this something about them that you like? Or if you know that you went to college and you want to date a guy that's X, Y, and Z, why do you keep dating a blue collar guy? Like, maybe that's what you really like. So then you got to deal with, why do you think actually this other thing is better that you don't even really like?
You don't like it for real.
So
Like,
it,
where did that idea even come from?
it all go back to asking yourself questions.
Mm,
Like, why do I like this idea? Why in my head do I like this idea that I don't even really like? It's all about asking yourself those questions and why you have these expectations. And it's hard to ask those questions though.
that it's hard to ask them, and then once you get to the point where you ask them, because I'm telling people I'm on a journey of healing. That's why another reason why I'm not in no particular rush to be with nobody, because I don't want to be one of those women who get a good man and I tear him all the way up inside because I'm still dealing with what I'm dealing with. I don't want to put that on another person. That's not fair.
Mm-hmm.
But I know that about myself, and it made me feel some type of way in the beginning. But now I'm like, when I'm done doing what I got to do for myself, I'm gonna be a bomb ass wife. You don't even tell me nothing.
Yep.
But that's where I have a goal. I'm going somewhere with it.
Mm-hmm.
Once you ask yourself the questions, particularly people on this channel know I'm a woman of faith. Once you pray and ask God questions about yourself, or you asking yourself questions about yourself, them answers,
Exactly.
baby,
It's the answer. That's the real stuff to
the
ask.
answer 99% of the time is not what you want to hear. And you will think you did not get an answer or a resolution to something because it's not the answer that you wanted. It's rarely what you want, it's always what you need and what's best for you.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't want to do that.
Yep.
So you ask, so I'm not getting no answer. I don't understand why I'm stuck in this place because you've gotten your answer. You
Mm-hmm.
know for real what you need to do. You don't really need another person to tell you that. You just don't want to do it because it don't look good.
Mm-hmm.
This path may be lit. This one got bristles and thorns, but what you really need is on the other side of the bristles and thorns. You might have to get pricked a little bit,
Yep.
but nobody wants to. And there's another misconception I'm gonna bring up because it just popped in my head. Healing don't feel good. I don't know who told it don't feel good. Healing doesn't feel good. Being healed feels good.
Mm-hmm.
I want y'all to. I don't know if they heard me. I gotta say it to their face. Yeah, healing don't always feel good. Healed, ed, feels good. Okay, because when I've had stitches. I don't know if anybody has stitches before. They itch. Sometimes they bleed. They're uncomfortable. You're healing. It's a scab. It's put. Sometimes stitches pop open and got to be sewed back together. That part never feels good,
Mm-hmm.
but you get a relief when the stitches is out and whatever it is that was being held together is together now. There's a relief. It
Mm-hmm.
may be a little scar, but it's different. The healing don't feel good, but the heal does. And I think if people realize that, they will get through stuff a lot. I want to say quicker, easier, because it's a process. Everybody wants to go from one end to the other, but don't want to process nothing in the middle. We just want to go there.
Yep.
You can't snap a. They're not Thanos. Okay, get your emotional intelligence together, people. You're not Thanos. You're not gonna snap and boom. It's no. That's because you didn't just snap and get into the situation. You didn't just snap and get how you are. So it's not gonna just turn off.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like you were saying with black women, it's the microaggressions daily, all day, and don't let you be the only person of color at your place of work. And it seems like the less blue collar it is, the more microaggressions you have to deal with
Mm-hmm.
because they are shocked to see you in certain places.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't expect you to even be there. Then you deal with that all day. So something as simple as you left a fork in the sink, somebody say something to you about the fork in the sink, you've been hearing stuff on this side all day and they're making you feel like it's something the way wrong with the way you do things. And then this fork get mentioned to you at the house. It's enough to blow everything up. I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna set something on fire because these people at work all day been making me feel like I don't know what I'm doing. And you got the nerve to see. That's why another reason why I say I need them 15 minutes when I get home from work. Don't talk to me. Don't talk to me because you don't know what happened in that place. Um, but another thing I want for black women because I notice it, black women, and I don't know why it's 2021. Okay, it's 2021. When y'all find out somebody famous is with a non-black person and let them be an activist or something, y'all, he can't really be an activist. He don't got a black wife. Y'all make my head hurt.
I think the issue with that though is, and it falls on celebrities, but I think it falls on all black men, is it's when you don't date black women and you're negative about black women.
Ah,
Because
yeah, that's different.
a lot
Yeah.
of black celebrities don't date black women and they say bad things about black women.
Mm,
So I don't think it's so much like, oh, he's dating a white woman or he's dating an Asian woman. I think it's okay, you're dating her, but I remember 5 years ago where you said I only like light skinned women or
mm.
I don't like black women because they loud or something like that. I think that's when the interracial dating thing becomes an issue. Because I'm like, I know I don't care. Like if like listen, I'm always like he belongs with Coco.
Yes.
I
Yes.
feel like they
Yes.
are a great couple. Like
Yeah.
that works for him. I don't want to say I couldn't see him with a black woman, but like I get it. Like that works, right? But
That
I don't think I've ever heard Ice T say a disparaging remark about black
about
women.
a black woman either, right? I was neither. He loved me, so
Or like I've even said like Alfonso Rivera. You know, he's been married, I think, more than once to a white woman. I
mm,
quote me on that, but I've never heard him say anything bad about black women. But
at
then
all.
but you get some black celebrities that like,
Mm,
oh, I
mm,
dated a black woman. My mother, like, uh, I think was it Tay Diggs that like, you know, he wrote that book about being about his biracial son, I think, and you know, he's always
mm,
talked about his mother knew that he wouldn't date a black woman, and like he's talked about issues that he's had about skin color, right? And
mm-hmm.
you see this foundation of him not particularly wanting to date black women. And then I think he's made additional comments where he said, well, you know, black women made me feel bad because I didn't want to date black women. But I'm like, but didn't you at one point say something about black women? So I think that that's the issue. It's
Yeah.
not, I don't think black women care one way or other who black men are dating, but like you can't make disparaging remarks about black women
You ain't had one.
and don't date black women, but then you want to be for the black cause because it's kind of like, but do you
Ah, yeah, that point. Because who was it? Who was it? Two ugly mothers. 50 Cent and Little Wayne. I only like exotic women because black women is this and that. Your daughter is a black woman.
I'm
Your
and it
your your first wife was a black woman.
but
You only like exotic women now?
it go back to the main thing, like what kind of people are you around, what kind of black women are you around, and that's not to say, oh, you know, it's got to be this particular type of black woman that he dates, but it's like, okay, so if you think black women ghetto, like are you hanging with black women that's got PhDs? Like do a black woman with a PhD even want
This is one of
you? Like I think everybody got to ask the questions.
like this is I'm like it's some of this stuff. I'm like, did you ask yourself that question? Oh, you see, because you around black women who let you think that hair is okay. A real woman who loved you would have been said either cut that off or get a retwist. So who are you around? Who you around? 50 Cent, you've been swollen and muscly for years and still look like you skipped leg day. A woman who really loves you would let you know you need to get the leg press machine popping or the squat press machine. So I think that's what anybody, but specifically with the black women, because I could date outside my race, I just don't want to. And
Yeah. I mean, and if
um,
I wasn't dating a black man and I dated a white guy, I wouldn't then talk bad about black men. Like
right,
that's the issue. Like you can still be in support of the black community and want to be an activist or whatever, but it's when you then make comments about a black woman or a black man, like that's where I think the issue comes into play because then all your activism is for naught. It's like
yeah,
what is the point of your activism if even you yourself are negative about the black community that you claim you want to save?
that part. And I don't get that part. Like that would be, but even then, I don't. This is, I care, but I don't because these is other grown people, and that's their grown business, and they're celebrities. So they're to me, celebrities like another planet because
I think
some of them don't forget they have humanity.
but
So,
the celebrity part is that because they have a bigger platform than
hmm,
stereotypes.
yeah,
Into the stereotype of the single angry black woman. And
yeah,
that's what makes people mad too, because you know, a random guy around town is like, I don't date black women, they loud. Okay, we don't care. But when you get a black man that's well known, that's got
hmm,
Twitter and Instagram platform that does a whole Facebook live or whatever talking about how he don't like black women and he got 1 million followers, then they're all gonna share it. You're continuing to feed into this stereotype about what a single black woman is. So that's the celebrity portion. I think it's an issue overall, but it being a
Mm-hmm.
celebrity, I think makes it worse because they
Yeah.
have a platform.
Speaking of stereotypes, I don't know if you had the pleasure of seeing anything from the certain gentleman been going viral giving out relationship advice. Mr. Because I don't want to disrespect him. Mr. Kevin Samuels. Have you had a chance to see any of that
I've seen
there?
some of his videos. Um, I the older I get, the more that I'm like people should be kind, and I just don't think that he's nice when he's talking to men.
Mm-mm.
Um, I think it's interesting because I feel like these are the stuff that the videos I've seen of his are conversations that I feel like black people have all the time on Facebook. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
the what are you coming to the table with conversations, or who gonna fix dinner for the kids, for like it's the same conversations we had like once a year. And I think it's interesting because I feel like black men really like patriarchy.
Mm.
And so when you
Mm.
women make these statements like, well, I need my man to make $100,000 and he need to have this kind of car. And then the other men get mad. It's like, but y'all like patriarchy. You want to be the man. You want to be the head of the household. You want to take
Mm-hmm.
care of everyone. In some instances, you want us to be a stay-at-home mother and wife. And so if that's what you're looking for, and that's what I'm looking for, and these are my expectations for that, why is it a problem?
Come on, somebody. Okay.
Like I don't get it. And like if you're two people and you're looking for that, why is that a problem? Because then you get these people that like you get the pot and they get in the wrong lid. Because
Oof.
if I like am like I want to work and let's
Oof.
bills, why would I get with a man that believes in patriarchy and want to pay all the bills and stuff? But then if a woman get online and say, I want a man to pay all my bills and everything and pay my car note, then they get mad. I feel
She's
like
a gold digger. No,
people,
no,
people just do
no.
that for the internet because I don't believe it. They just doing it to be online and to go viral because men out here, that's what they want. They want a woman that's gonna stay at home and be a stay-at-home mother. And when he come home, the house gonna be spotless and dinner's gonna be made. And so if that's the woman that you want, she's gonna come with expectations.
Right. And that this is the thing is like, yes, what you saying you want. This is what she's saying she wants. Y'all saying the same thing, but y'all angry at each other for what was said.
Or
Huh?
yeah, and then or like even his stuff, he'll be like, well, what the Samuels guy is like, well, what you bring into the table? And I feel like I don't know why there's this assumption that black women are broke.
Ah,
Because
somebody.
somebody
Huh?
I
What
saw
happened?
I saw a post about this on Instagram earlier, and like, oh, the woman was saying, oh, I would love to be surprised on a date and with flowers, and the guy was like, women ask for this stuff and they can't do it for themselves, and everybody was like, how do you surprise yourself with flowers, or how do you surprise yourself with a date? And it's so many times you see a comment where a man is like, can you do that for yourself? Is you gonna do that for your man? And I'm like,
If you broke, just say that, because I'm not.
I the point of being in a relationship is reciprocal. So I'm like, who y'all dating where your woman don't do nothing for you? Because that's your problem, not all of Instagrams. And then again, if what I'm asking for is not what you're willing to provide, why are you commenting? Like you're not the one that I'm looking for. So I feel like there's this butting of the heads in these arguments, and the new stereotype is black women is broke and they don't bring nothing to the table. Cause I'm just like, that's not true. Where did y'all get this from? Black women have like the most degrees. They start the most businesses.
We spend the most. We spend the most money overall.
I
We
just
spend
don't.
the most money.
I'm like, if that woman and what she's talking about don't appeal to you, there's someone out there that it works for you. So yes, to answer your question, I've seen this video. I think that
So it's not just me. Okay.
I think it's for the gram. Um,
Period.
And again, I think as a single woman watching, knowing men that I know, I think a lot of black men like patriarchy, but they don't like to be told they like patriarchy.
Mm.
Because,
Part of that's like an oxymoron to the patriarchy. You can't tell me nothing.
well, no, because the idea of patriarchy is it's Western and it's European, and I
Mm.
always make an argument because I'm like, y'all so pro black and y'all so woke, but you want to have a husband and a wife and 2.5 children, and you want to do all this stuff that essentially Western European culture has told you need to do, and it's nothing like your African heritage, but y'all don't want to have them conversations. So the patriarchy, a lot of black, like I've seen people say, like black men is the white men of black people. They want that type of patriarchy, and
Mm.
so they want to be in control in that way, but it don't fit with black history and African culture. I mean,
Cause they don't know. They so woke. I say this all the time. They so woke they sleep. Like,
most African cultures are matriarchal. They just are. They're
mm,
matriarchal, or they're very heavily equal, and that
mm,
does not fit with what we've been taught here.
mm-hmm.
It feels good when you like patriarchy, and so I love the idea of a single black woman and black women being independent, and
mm-hmm.
it just doesn't work with what a lot of people do. And that's why I'm like, your relationship stuff really even shouldn't be on Facebook. I would never ask that guy to give me relationship advice because he's not kind. And what I'm looking for is individual to me. How is a man that you're not even in a relationship going to explain to you what it is you need to do for a man that
A stranger telling you about a,
another friend?
another stranger. Like, you're a stranger to him. The person you're talking about is a stranger to him. He's
Exactly.
a stranger to everybody. It's the strange. It's the Bermuda Triangle of advice.
And he just ain't nice. He's
He
just
not nice. He one of those people who I don't know the man personally, but he's one of those people who will make me not want to be nice back.
I mean, and I feel like when relationships make you vulnerable,
Mm-hmm.
and when you let that guard down, that says a lot about how you feel about the relationship and the person. For you to go to this guy and ask him questions as a single black woman, you are being extremely vulnerable, and he's just not nice. Like the couple
At
times
all.
I've watched, I'm just like, how do you even stay on the conversation with him without like hanging up your phone or closing down your camera or whatever?
Or cuss him out because the way um, the one young lady, because he was seeing with certain type of men, because I was triggered, and I don't have a problem saying when things trigger me. He was talking about the weight thing,
Mm-hmm.
and to me, it was just like if you're overweight or you're a certain size, because I'm a big girl, I don't care. I ain't never had an issue, and it's not like I ain't met some quality people because I'm a bigger girl. So I didn't like that. He's like a successful black man is not gonna like a bigger black woman. Da 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 da. Baby, I know famous fat people. I'm I know famous fat people who got a lot more money than you, and they're doing just fine. David and Tamala Man been married over 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
They both lost weight, but they still two bigger people.
And where did he even come from? I mean, you might know more about it than I do.
I don't know where he came. He just popped up like a cicada.
A couple months ago, and people have just been enthralled.
And people got to be careful. We all got to be careful about the people we accept or we agree with. They just come out of nowhere. He just literally popped up one day. Those people are trying to go viral. They don't give a damn about you for real. That man don't. He don't know you for real. He don't have no investment in your happiness or your relationship.
Mm-mm.
He don't know you.
No,
Even the people who calling him, he don't know them.
no.
He just came out of just out of nowhere. Like he just came from another universe. Start giving out advice and y'all going crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm like, I don't know where he came from.
Who
So,
sent you?
mm-mm.
And can we return the sender? I'm sorry. I'm being very, very stoic today. So being nice today. Because they know. They've seen my episodes. Um it is like something that we I referenced in the rotation and friend zone episodes. Men, specifically black men, I want y'all to think about how y'all react to us when we reject you. I want you to think about that. Because
So
just think about it, man. Because
I'm older at this, and I'm gonna tell you, I don't hang out no more. Now, when I used to club, people was rude. I ain't had nobody like call me a bitch and then like in a really long time. And I don't know if maybe that's an age thing, like when you hanging out and stuff, because I mean, and you know, as a single woman, single black woman, you really are cautious of that. I remember
mm-hmm.
I used to go out like, okay, somebody asked you for your phone number, like you gonna give them a fake number, or you know,
A
you
real
got
number.
nice because you just don't know what
Right.
what the reaction is gonna be.
Mm-mm. And I'm older because we both in our 30s. Don't worry about it. I'm grown. I was born in the 80s. Now it's not so much. I don't give out my number.
Mm-hmm.
Um.
You get people be in your DMs though. I do notice people
Oh my God.
still message me, and like, you know, you really don't know where it's going. You might try to be friendly and then like it'll totally go left. I haven't had anybody like tell me off or whatever, but people like, you know, I've had people ask me out and then like I won't reply and they're just kind of like, oh, so you're not gonna go out with me? And I'm like, you know, it's
It's
you're
it's the grammar for me. It's because I talked about this before. Just because I'm a black woman and I'm an older black woman, I don't have no kids. Have my own everything. Let me tell you something. 2 points I'm gonna make, and then we gonna wrap it up a little bit on this point right here though. If you hop in my DMs and you get that little squiggly line under a word, please correct that. Because I'm not reading this. I have gotten through certain sentences and I don't know what you're saying to me. Oh, so you're not gonna respond? I don't know what this says. What am I? I don't know what this says, sir. I can't read this. You know, I may speak in Ebonics, but I don't type in it. And if I do, you could stick. Okay, my name is Samia. Um, so they tend to think that it may be foreign. I don't speak them other languages. Just a little bit of German and English. So I need to be able to read what you're saying. Don't come in this inbox though. Don't do that. And if you do come, do not start with "Hey, sexy." We're not finna do that. We're not finna do that. What's sexy about me? You don't even know me. You just see what you see. I have great lighting right now. I'm pretty either way, but I'm just saying, you don't. Okay, don't do that, y'all. Don't. Um, because I want to go back to you said something earlier, but I forgot because I be forgetting stuff. When you said it's the assumption that black women are broke, because y'all either want to call us broke or you like to say I'm high maintenance.
mm-hmm.
How much money do you need to spend on your stuff? However much of my money I want to spend on me is perfectly fine to me. Whatever the number is, it's okay with me because I'm spending it on me. And when you were saying about the whole patriarchy thing, you say you want a woman to do all of this. She says she wants a man to do all of this. If before you came along, sir, I was perfectly capable of getting these done by myself, huh? Getting this done by myself, buying watches and things for me by myself. You need to be able to at least do for me what I can do for myself if you don't want me to work or do nothing. You want me to stay at home with these children. My life, like she said earlier, still have to be my life. I
Mm-hmm.
still have to be me. I don't negate being me because I'm with you now. You
Mm,
want me to be a housewife, but I will be Queen's Realm the housewife. Still doing queen things, being me. But also, because being your wife is an addition to my life. It is
mm,
not my life.
mm.
Did y'all hear what I said? Being a wife or being a husband is an addition to somebody's life. That is not my life.
Yep. Yep.
So stop thinking that. Stop trying to be everything to somebody. Why do y'all want to do that?
Hmm.
Are you everything to you? Do you even like you? Why you want, you know what? That's a whole other episode. Because I'm start preaching. But
I do want to say marriage is a business. So that is real. I mean, it's all about love. It's love and you like the person, but you're signing a contract. It's a legally binding contract. I've always said that I want to have a prenuptial agreement. And, in some instances, you have to look at it that way. You know,
yep.
that's the whole point of what you bring into the table and all of that. What kind of lifestyle do we want to lead? Because it's a lot more to it than just we're in love.
Because love ain't never flipped the light switch.
Mm-mm.
That's something else.
Nope.
That's a whole other episode, y'all. It's a whole other episode. But we're gonna end today. This is gonna be a whole nother, it's gonna be a part two. It probably might be panel. We're gonna see. Cause I always like to get black men's perspective on things after the fact.
Mm-hmm.
Cause cause I'm gonna do single black male too, so they can, cause I wanna see if they say some of the same things we say, because we're both African, we're both black, but their experiences with the world is not the same as ours, but we can better understand each other's experiences because we're both black. But Miss Marissa, do you have any last words for the people? Always give everybody a minute to give their last words.
I want to tell everybody, always check in with yourself. I
Hmm.
brought up the idea of asking yourself questions early on and out throughout the conversation. Check in with yourself every day. Ask yourself, are you happy? What could you be doing differently? Because I think as a single woman, we do it a little bit more than when you're in a relationship. And when you're in a relationship, you might not ask at all, but your happiness is still paramount, whether you're single or not. And so ask yourself those questions because that will lead you more than anything else.
Yes. And I want to say, like she said, the asking questions thing is, I say this almost every episode. I put a very big emphasis on healing.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna tell you what she said. You can't heal until you ask yourself the right questions. Ask yourself a question, and you need to do it while you're single and while you're by yourself, because once you get in a relationship, everybody always says, I'm still gonna do more for me, but sometimes, and there are moments where you need to be there more for the other person. They're going through something, you got kids, you're not asking the questions about you anymore. You're asking, did I feed them kids today? What I'm gonna cook for dinner?
Mm-hmm.
What are we doing for dinner? Did I do this? If you have all these other questions you asking yourself daily, they don't have anything to do with you. That's just stuff you have to do. So while you're single, you need to ask yourself the right questions. Listen to the answers. Okay? And after answers is one of my favorite words I've learned. Application. Question, answer, application, healing.
Mm-hmm.
And please, if y'all don't remember nothing else I said today, or nothing else she said today, ask yourself questions. And healing does not feel good. Being healed feels good.
Mm-hmm.
But again, I thank you for being on my show today.
Thank you for
I'm
having
gonna put I'm gonna put your social media down there, because I don't know if y'all know, but my cousin is somebody. We all somebody, but we related. So she really somebody to me. I'm just to let y'all know. Okay. I'm gonna put her social media link down to the bottom to her Instagram only, because y'all not about to run her DMs. Y'all not about to. I'm gonna let you go over there if you want to and get yourself disrespect. Never mind. But again, I thank you for being on the show today.
Thank
This
you.
is a good show. This is a good talk. I like good talks. But this is Queen's Realm Podcast. I love y'all. Now get out. I'm just playing. Bye. I love y'all back. I love y'all back.